ha. Ooh. Ha ha. Yes, yes, yes. Good morning. It's time to wild out. Yo, good morning. Time to wild out. What's going on, everybody out there in the whoa, that wasn't supposed to happen so quick, but you see us anyway. What's happening? Yes, it is time to talk about the good old Spiderverse. As you all know, it dropped for some of us Friday, for most of us Thursday. Hallelujah. And we want to go ahead and discuss this thing because, oh my God, is Sony trying to take over Marvel? Because if so, this might be the right way to do it. Keep doing your thing, Marvel. I'm not gonna lie. We definitely have plenty of opinions in the building to discuss this, but there's also a couple other things that are going on in the world. Obviously, this week it was Across the Spiderverse, which hit theaters. If you haven't seen it, I don't know what you're waiting for. Get on out there. But in a couple of weeks, actually next week, this new scary movie, We Can't All Die First, The Blackening. The Blackening is popping up in the next weeks. All black cast in the scary movie. I ain't never seen that before. The Flash is dropping, and yes, we know about Ezra. Yes, we get it, but hey, it's still worthy of discussion, I suppose, even if you ain't gonna see it. Did y'all see that TMNT 2 trailer that popped up in there? And what did I happen to notice? But they're bringing Black April back. Hallelujah. We might even talk about that for a little bit, along with a whole host of other things, including Secret Invasion, which is supposed to be hitting the screen pretty soon on your Disney Plus 6 episode, if I am mistaken. And we know we love to see Samuel L. So let's go ahead and discuss it. Obviously, I'm your boy. It's the real Vince Taylor, or should I say, aka Smiles Morales. Hallelujah. Peter Sparker in the building. Let's go ahead and do it. And I'm joined by none other than the one and only Bad Ty Bricks, who looked away as soon as I hit him. Also joined by Nolly, who's in the building. What's going on, Nolly? Nolly's in the building. Hey, we've got Tiffy Starchild. Hey, Resident Starchild. What's up, everybody? Yes. We also have Omar Holman, the official author, co-author of the Black Girl Problems book. And also welcome to the panel, Mr. 407 Kevin, coming to a restaurant near you to tell you whether you should date there or not. And we are all here live, man. It is the New Blurred Order. Let's go ahead and kick this game off right. Hey, wait a minute. Did I say what's up to Yazzie? Did I say what's up to Yazzie? I'm sorry. You know what it is? You know what it is? You know what it is? It's. I thought that you were actually Valerie the librarian, and I was going to bring you on as our special guest. But Yazzie's in the building. Yeah. All right, I deserve that. But it is what it is. Let's go ahead and get this thing started. It is the New Blurred Order, baby.
I love the New Blurred Order. You should too.
Let me get all this 10p Wayne. All the niggas rapping about the same old thing. I've been coming through with the same old gang. Ain't shit changed except 9 got a name. Got it out the mud but we got no stains. Cold ass ninja with a gold ass chain. The girl call me daddy, not my government name. Money on my mind, got them bands on my brain. Let me tell y'all about a nigga I know. The nigga stay clean so he always got hoes. Light skinny bitches like.
All right, can I start off by telling y'all a secret? All right, here's a little secret. In all honesty, I had every intention in my mind to start off the show like this, but bro, I can't see shit in this shit, bro. I ain't gonna lie, bro. I can't see shit. I can't touch shit. But hey, what's going on? It's me, Miles. I just starred in a whole new movie. Yes, and don't be talking about the little skim milk that I'm lusting after, Dr. Umar. We still here. But it is what it is, man. Yo, hey, look, bro. We just saw Across the Spiderverse with so many spider peoples. They, them, all of them, bruh, and it was wholly nuts. Now, real quick, man, I'm not gonna lie. I am a huge spider geek, and it's not even a secret. So everybody here already knows that. But outside of me, I think most of us was pretty excited to see this movie, and I think most of us did see the movie. So real quick, show of hands. Who got a chance to see it? I know we've discussed this before, just for the record, who all got a chance to see it? We got 1, 2, 3 into the okay. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 of us. All right, 4 of us. All right, so the rest of y'all gonna have to get these spoilers, because we spoiling today, baby. We finna tell you the whole truth. How all of Spider-Man die in the first 2 minutes.
Whole new cast.
The Thanos snap comes back for the nurses. Nah. What's going on? Shout out to the comments. What's going on? Danielle, everybody else is there. But of those of us that saw it, which is 4, I'm gonna go ahead and put this up. I want you to give me the thumbs up, the thumbs down, or the meh in the middle. The meh in the middle, like this. Either the thumbs up, the thumbs down. It could be 2 thumbs up, 3. I don't know. Hey, I don't know your mutation. You know what I'm saying? And let us know what your thoughts is. I'm gonna pull this thing down in 3, 2, 1, and oh, yo, all thumbs, yo, we got arms up. All right. Well, listen, let's go ahead and start with our newbie, Mr. 407 Kev, man. Thank you for pulling up. What are your initial thoughts of the movie? Then we'll move on to Tiffy, then on to Omar. What's going on, homeboy?
Hey, y'all, thank y'all so much for having me, by the way. I love Spider-Man. I think Spider-Man was like the first superhero that I was like really, really invested in. I played the PlayStation 1 game. The animated series in the 90s was like one of the first cartoons that I was like super addicted to. And then even now the PS4, PS5 games. So I was hyped to go into the theater, to say the least. I thought it was a great movie. But I do think that it had been hyped so much for so long, and everybody was just so obsessed with the first movie that I walked in with like crazy expectations. I feel like the movie was very long. I thought that there was a lot of character development in there that kind of took away from some of the action. And ultimately, I was really surprised by the ending. So I'm sure that we'll get into that at some point, but I did not see what happened at the end happening.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely something different, I'll say. Tiffy, how about you? What were your thoughts, Miss Starchild?
Ooh, so I'm not a spider person, like at all. And it's not that I don't enjoy the Spider-Man movies. I just have no connection to them. I remember there being a cartoon that existed, and I feel like I watched it, but sometimes I just be creating memories, and I'm like, that didn't really happen. You just have a really strong imagination. But like, so I'm not a spider person, but now I feel like I'm ready to die for this gang because the movie was so good. Like just from the beginning, like I feel like when the first track hit, I was like, oh, that this is the type of experience that we are in for right now. And from there, it just got better. So I want to learn more about the spiders, but I think that it was an amazing movie.
Yeah. Okay. Well, listen. Anytime you can convince a non-spider fan that it is definitely she ready to swap for the game. You know what I'm saying? She ready to fight for the team. Just go ahead and spider.
I was like, where do I get the spider tattoo? Where is there like a booklet that I can choose from?
We'll send you the link. Be ready. It's on the way. What about you, Omar? What was your thoughts on the movie, man? Just go ahead and lay it in thick, bro. Give us the whole blood raw.
There's a scene from this old slam movie where this dude does a poem that stops like this whole like prison fight, and just by doing a poem, and then the dude's like, that's one of the guys that was fighting. He's like, I forgot what the fuck I was thinking, and I just can't help but think that as I watched, I went into Spider-Man like, oh man, I wonder what this is gonna be. Then at the end of it, I'm like, I forgot what the fuck I was thinking, man, because everyone. It feels like this phenomenon where everyone's like, I gotta see this again, and it feels like this haze you went through. It's like, I know I was there, I know what happened, but I don't know what the fuck just happened. Like, it's so rare that you get something like so good with that, and like knowing that there's so many details I know I missed. I gotta see this shit again with closed captioning on. Like it's so rare that you get something like that. So that was my initial like reactions. Like I know what I saw, but what the fuck did I just see?
Yo, I actually have a picture of Omar's reaction of like the most important scene when the movie came on. He like, it was a whole scene. It was crazy. I'm here for it. Yazzie, what about you? I see that you saw it hold on. Damn it. You did see it, right?
I did see it.
Okay, my bad. My medical card is kicking in this hour. But
he forgot me. He don't even remember I saw it.
All right, hold on, let me. All right, first of all, to my sister in Spider. All right, let me just first of all apologize for that. Number one, number two, it was that you said you were going back to the theater, and I was like, what? She said you were going back to the theater, but it was for Little Mermaid. You said you're gonna go see Little Mermaid in your Spider Woman gear. Come on, pull on up, Valerie. What do you think about it?
Yeah. It was a fantastic movie. Definitely, it was amazing. I don't want to spoil like too many things for you guys, but you just need to get your ass up and go see the damn movie. That's just like really how I feel. It was top to bottom amazing. It's kind of hard because like after seeing the Guardians and then seeing this, like it's really hard to imagine what's gonna be like. What the rest of the lineups for the movie were, because this movie was amazing. The story was great. The character development was great. Like we got so many new spiders. It just, I don't know, all in all, I was amazed top and bottom. And I don't know, Kevin, I didn't feel the same like like time wise with the movie. I was like more towards the end, like, yo, I knew this was gonna happen, but I was dying because like, the audience in the movie theater, everyone was just like, yo, that shit was like hilarious. And I was just sitting there dying laughing. So I thought that was great. But yeah, I don't know, the movie was just amazing. Like it was a great fucking movie. And yeah, even if you are like, you like the Spider-Verse, you like Spider-Man, or you're new to it, like Tiffy is, I definitely think it's a great opener for you. Like Into the Spider-Verse, hands down, probably for me is like the movie of the year right now.
Ooh, hey, listen, you ain't saying no lies. Well, let me ask y'all this. For those of us that did go to the movies, did y'all see it in a black movie theater?
I was just about to talk about that. It's crazy. Dog, yo, the theater definitely affects the movie experience, because I went to like I saw that Point Orlando here in Orlando, but it was it was very white and very bland. Nobody clapped when they saw a character that was revealed, a cameo. Nobody got like, I was expecting when Miles's mom started speaking Spanish, because of the area that I live in, for all the Puerto Ricans to just go "Wepa," start clapping and shit. It was mad quiet in there, bro. Like there was no Puerto Ricans, there was no black people. Everybody was just like, yeah, it's a very great film, man. I really enjoyed it.
All right, well, that's where you fucked up, Kev.
Yeah.
All right, me and Kev is in the Central Florida area. Should have took your ass to West Oaks Mall, homeboy.
Yeah,
you gotta go out there. All right,
I was expecting them to be handing me Puerto Rican flags when I walked in. I was expecting a Juneteenth ticket, like, oh, you black? Oh, okay, you got the ones on your feet too? Okay, cool. It was a white experience, and I don't know. I was feeling very Peter Parker-ish and not very Miles.
Well, just for those viewing, shout out to everybody once again. And if you are watching, please like, comment, and definitely share. Tag your homeboy that did watch the movie. We want everybody's contribution in the comment section for now. You might even turn up in a reel. But I ain't gonna lie, we will be spoiling. So these first few minutes, for those of y'all don't want no spoilers, you great. But I will give you the heads up when the spoiler is about to drop. But we ain't finna sit here and not talk about this shit. Goddamn it, we do this. What the fuck we do? Goddamn it, hold your ass down. Goddamn. So anyway, Tiffy, did you see it in a PWI? That's a predominantly white institution. For those that are not aware, what'd you see? Did you see it in the Chocolate City?
No, my area is like, oh, why is my camera so blurry? I don't like that. Anyway, my camera or my theater was like empty. It was very empty. So
you're lucky.
Oh
yeah. My friend Ebony and I, we were there and were just able to enjoy the experience. We went to Luna Grill beforehand. It was lovely.
Listen, that's Tiffy renting out the whole movie theater. Like, nah, I don't see movies with other people in the seats.
What do you mean, like poor people?
With the ugly people, no.
I saw that post.
Where I live, there aren't a lot of people, so pretty much any movie drop, I can just stroll on in and just, if something goes viral like on TikTok at a Target, not my Target, I'm gonna find a show.
All right. Earth 818 somewhere. Yes. Black movie theater, Puerto Rican movie theater. Who knows?
It was definitely PWI. At some point, I even had to like scream at like spectators towards like the end credits, because there was like this group of just like ridiculous women, like just like being obnoxious for whatever reason. So like the whole end credit scene, I literally, like, Austin was just like, oh my God. And I was like, yo, you can shut up. Like,
wait a minute, hold on. First of all, white people making noise. Okay, take that stereotype. Second of all, PW end credit scene? Am I tripping? Did I miss it? Because
No, but that's what the problem was. So they were like upset about it, and it like they were just like,
oh, okay,
what?
Yeah.
And they were just like being obnoxious, the first time when it didn't show anything, and then it was just like, for the wait to see if there was anything else. Like I was about to stand up, bro. Like I was straight up by the end of it. By the end of it, I'm over here just staring at them, like just giving them this, and the one just like looked at me and then like just stopped, and then like her friends were like, "You good?" And she's like, "Yeah," and I'm like looking at them like, "Yeah, I'm about to like get up, like y'all being obnoxious. We're in a small like area and you guys are screaming. You know what I'm saying? Like I just watched a loud ass movie and you're fucking louder than the movie. Like why?"
That's the multiverse. That's the multiverse where a black woman is Karening and white women are.
I'm not gonna lie, I was like really about to lose my shit. I was just like, "Oh man, Austin, you need to go because I'm about to like." Yeah,
that is a full circle multiverse. He was about to call the police on these.
I was like, looking for the movie people, like take these bitches out of here. You know what I'm saying? Like, what the fuck? Like, why are they still in this bitch? Like, yeah, and it was a full too, and people just like didn't even care anymore about the end credits. They started getting up in crowds. They were like, "Fuck this, I'm out. These bitches are loud." Like it was like, and it was so obnoxious. And you're like, bro, you literally scared out like 3/4 of the movie theater. You know what I'm saying? But like,
could it have been that the movie was over? Could they have just been getting up to walk out?
No, they literally were just standing by their seats, and there were like 3 of them, and they were just screaming, talking to each other, and they were like, that's why I was like, what the fuck is wrong? And they were like at the top of the movie theater too, like in the back, like so basically.
They were sitting like, in the Rosa Parks section. They had these white people in the civil rights section. Okay.
I don't even know, man. But they were like, it was obnoxious. I was just like, can we just go, please? Like, there's no end credit scene. I had to listen to these bitches. Like, I'm out. Like, I just nah.
No, officer, they brought their own food and everything. I don't like it. They brought.
Speaking of which, I saw it in Floridians Altamont right here in Central Florida, which is kind of a diverse area. You know what I'm saying? It's it's kind of real mixed, but. The problem is I'm an AMC person. I think Tiffy and I both share that in common. We had that premiere card, bitch. We ain't waiting in line. We going into the yellow line, bitch. Fuck the bullshit. And before I even get there, my shit is bought. I ain't going to see no counter. I'll show you my little QR code. I walk my ass right on in. Oh, I know my seat number. Thank you very much. I know where it's at. No, I'm cool. I'm good. But the one huge complaint I got with AMC, which got me on trouble on the radio a couple years ago, was the fact that at some point in time, somebody in the corporate office, I'm talking to you corporate fucks, decided to change the Tostitos cheese from the nachos to some bullshit ass cheese. Now listen here. Hold on. Let me talk to y'all. Give me face cam.
Talk to him.
I don't know who the fuck it is up in that goddamn office that's putting this bullshit ass cheese out on
bullshit.
But I need you to understand that you fucked up my movie going experience. And I now have to consider different movie theaters because I don't want to go to the movies and not enjoy the entire experience, which includes the cheese and the nachos, as well as the jalapenos. And please have the jalapenos ready. Don't make me ask you for jalapenos and not even stop the line and go make a couple tubs. And yes, I want 6 whole cartons of jalapenos.
How many?
A lot of jalapenos. I put 1 on each nacho. Fuck you with the bullshit and trying to judge me. I know what the fuck I'm doing. I know what kind of movie I came to see. You know how much money I spent on this shit? This shit cost about 3 Jordans. And you sit there trying to tell me that I can't watch this the way I want to? It's my whole asshole, and I want my cheese. And so I'm going to tell you what happened. My daughter and I have decided, hold on, I'm going to go run them and grab this.
Oh, you're going to get a witness.
I don't like the nachos in the nacho bag now. Like, just put the nachos in the container.
So I know I ain't the only one who stops at the store on the way into the movies and buys the big bag of Skittles, who buys all of the candy, puts them in the pocket, maybe they purse, maybe man bag. Don't judge me. And then when you get in, you walk right past that bitch, right? You know what I'm saying? You go in that bitch like you backpacking in Europe with a whole big ass backpack on, and you go in, you start taking out your ribs, you start cooking that shit. You done brought a whole goddamn tray. And so now we used to just go in with Skittles, Nestle Crunch bars, and maybe a drink because we like to be able to close it. But now I find myself going in, and I know you can't see it, but damn it, I go in with the Tocitos. This is a half in Tocitos from the movies that I had to take because y'all want to switch up the cheese in the AMC movie. Now I'm gonna keep paying my little $19.99 a month, but just know you have affected me because now even when I go into my free movie, I gotta pay $5.99 for the cheese on the way in. I have spoken. I just wanted to get that out. All right, I've been waiting all week to.
How many cartons of jalapenos again? How many cartons?
I get about 8. So underneath,
He said 6 original.
Yeah, I'm dead ass. Like underneath the nachos, there's like if you pull it up in the tray, there's room for it underneath. So I need an even number. So all right, look, you're going really deep into the nacho verse.
Okay.
Right now. I didn't want to.
Okay.
The comment section agrees with you, so that's
Thank
all
you.
that matters. All right.
Thank you. It's the truth. Look, I'm only speaking facts. But having said that, I did see it in Altamont with a mixed crowd. We did get the applause breaks where they were warranted. I wanted to see it in West Oaks, but I brought a family member with me who stays a little closer, so that worked out. But yo, the movie going experience is where this at. Now, I'm speaking specifically to my homeboy Ty right now. Ty's going to see it on the Fire Stick.
Yes.
He said absolutely.
Yes, I am.
Nah, man, this is not a Fire Stick movie, bro. This is a movie.
Yeah, it's not. You got to go to the movies for this one.
I'm
not in. Like, listen, I had you in mind too.
We're not going to go through this. We're not going to go through this together, guys.
Listen. When I went, there was fucking people coughing and shit in my movie theater, and I was like, they were like hacking, and I'm like, just going in, and I'm like, can you fucking leave? Like, I swear I was the most loudest during this goddamn movie I've ever been in my entire fucking life, man. I was like nasty, like people were just coughing and.
You're not helping. Yes, you're hurting.
Yes. Listen. That you see that? There's nobody coughing. There's no coughing. There's no. Hold up. No angry white women. Hold on a second.
Wait.
Hold on, Vince.
Okay.
I have a jar of jalapenos.
I
don't need
Okay.
to have my shit ready.
Okay.
I come ready.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying? I don't go to the movies. I bring the movies to me.
Say it
again. That's where we're at. That's where we're at in this whole scheme of things.
I love that.
You know what I'm saying? And by the way, I need to know where the hell you're shopping for Jordans, where there's 3 pair you can get for the price of a movie. Because I'm clearly shopping in the wrong places. So please drop that info, before the show's out. Thank you.
I didn't say new Jordans. They might be used.
Down on the used Jordans too.
I think you're confusing them with Jordash. Those might be Jordash.
The Jared Ordens.
Yeah,
man's.
I think so.
Jaden's.
The hoops. Remember the hoops? The hoops joystick back in the day. Well, anyway, man, I'm not gonna lie. Outside of the movie going experience, which I still support, Nolly, don't listen to this fool. You know what I'm saying? I know you ain't seen it. You're supposed to go see it. Nolly has already got her tickets to see it. Not too long from now, right?
Yeah, I think we're going tonight.
Hey.
Right.
I got my sunglasses, my painkillers. I'm ready. in my movie theater, because I live next to MCO, so I go to the one on Lee Vista, and it be white. But they be cheering. So
nice.
It's not
MCO is the airport down here, y'all. For those of y'all who just was like, okay, I don't know. Did she mean MCU? No, she means MCO.
No, MCU.
But yeah, man. So definitely enjoy that. I'm interested in hearing the comparisons. But my God, there's so much that happened. Now, I want to speak to something that Kev said right quick. I don't know if it was too long. I won't say too long, but I will say it was slow. There was a slow build. And this is the part where we get a little spoiler heavy. So shout out to everybody that's watching. If you are somebody who hasn't seen it and is yet to see it and is looking forward to it and don't want it spoiled, I'm not saying don't go nowhere. I'm just saying that we probably about to spoil a couple things. But in the meantime, make sure y'all tell your friends, family, co-workers, people you like, people you don't like, to come on in and tune in. I think it just was slow in development. And I ain't gonna lie, there was a small period where I was like, all right, is this the Gwen movie? Is this a Spider-Gwen movie now? You know what I'm saying? Like, are we shifting the main character domination? And I got a little salty for like a few minutes. It lasted a few minutes. You know,
Dr. Umar and me came out.
Yeah.
He affected me unknowingly. I didn't even know that I was affected by this, but as I was watching the movie, I'm just like, man, get this snow bunny off the screen. What's up with Miles? What Miles up to? Huh? Where he at? Because spoiler, they opened the movie with her arc. And they do her arc for like 10 minutes before they do the title sequence.
Right.
I'm like,
Nope. Go ahead, Tiffy. Go ahead.
Mm-hmm.
I liked it though because like everything in her world was very like blue and purple and pastel, and I was just like,
Okay,
all about the colors with Tiffy. What's up, Omar?
Okay, like all right, they opened up with Gwen, but what was Gwen doing?
Right.
What was Gwen doing? Gwen was going Phil Collins on the fucking drums, foreshadowing.
Yeah, she was.
She was going. It was in the air tonight on them fucking drums.
Hell yeah, she was killing that shit.
You can't just be like, oh, she. You major Nick Cannon was on the side
playing drums.
Yeah.
What is it, Scott Pilgrim? No, I don't want to see that. I want to see a black woman on the drums. A white woman with rhythm? I never seen it. I don't believe it.
Oh man.
This is fiction now.
You taking me into the fantasy of the you bring me back to reality, and I don't like it.
But I did like it. It was like I guess a spoiler, but like we're hearing from the Judas a bit first. Which then sets us, and also it sets up for like that movie, the ending scene from the first movie. We see how that all came to be.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm like, oh, I'm not bad. Oh shit, it ties in this way. That's how she met with Miles, what we saw earlier. So I'm like, I don't know, we got wrestling fans right here, but that's long-term storybooking right there. That's long-term booking right there. You know what I'm saying?
Well, in Kev's defense, I mean, I think that the period of uncertainty as to which direction it was going made that sequence last a little longer because I was like, hold up, I didn't come to see this young lady. You know what I'm saying? And he's right. Dr. Umar poisoned my mind. Like I watched, even Frankie had like a little commentary on Dr. Umar's story, and so I'm going in the movie like skim milk. Like I don't even look at her as Gwen Stacy. She's like Skim Stacy at this point. Not even like who she was supposed to be. I was completely tarnished by the shit. If you haven't seen the Dr. Umar commentary, which we'll discuss it was about Miles lusting over the skim milk that is Gwen Stacy and how there isn't necessarily an accurate or at least an abundance of Black love portrayed in our comic book movies or possibly even on screens, period. So we'll jump into that. But I think you have some room to speak on that. Tiffy, do you think that it was like a slow start? As somebody who didn't see the movie the way a Spider-Man fan sees it, did you have that same like feel or was it just fine for you?
It felt like a long movie, but not unpleasantly long. But like at some point in the movie theater, I definitely was just like, all right, how are we going to wrap this up in 5-10 minutes? Because we're getting kind of, so for it to have the ending that it did, I was like, oh, okay, this makes sense. But it felt long, but that wasn't bad because I was really enjoying myself. So.
Okay. That makes sense. That's good. I honestly, I don't know if I'm the only one, but I'm not the only one who knew that it was part one. I mean, it wasn't a secret that it was part one. I don't know if it was heavily being advertised, but you'd see some posters that said part one. So I kind of knew halfway through that it was going to be part one. Nobody else knew?
I got spoiled by it. Like, not spoiled, but like, it was, man, I saw it mentioned briefly, like, it's okay. It's going to be another part. All right, let's go. All right.
Yeah, okay. But man, I mean,
will say, it's not that I wanted it to end. I'm just like, it has to be ending sometime soon. Like, I don't think this is a 3-hour movie. So I didn't see how it was going to end in that time. So
yeah, I agree with you. I definitely was like, I know this is going to be wrapping. Like, I definitely had that same feeling. Like it's like getting close to wrapping up because my phone dinged and
Yeah, and yet keeps her kid in the car during the movie. Like, she can't even come into the. Not just playing. She don't even got kids. Anyway, not like that. But disappointment in what we saw? Absolutely not. Let's start off with the fact that we are back now with our boy Miles, who done grew up He done grewed up, y'all. I love the fact that they are a progressive series. This is not one series where you have a young Miles who's 13, 14, and stays that way throughout the entirety. And this is an animated series, so they don't even have to do that, honestly. They could be like, yo, look, we're going to keep him the same build. He doesn't really attack. No, they showed you even the development. They're like, yo, look, we're going to put some milk in this little motherfucker right here. We're going to go ahead and get him some creatine. Get him all.
They got Gwen Stacy.
And he was big, you know what I mean? So that part was good. But then we got to meet some of the characters. Now, I don't know, before we start talking about the characters I've got on deck, do y'all happen to have any favorites of the ones that we saw? Because we saw a whole lot of Spider-Man. Does anybody have any favorites? Omar, I know you and I kind of have an affinity for this. Did any of these new characters that we saw in the Spider-Verse stand out to you? You know what I'm saying? As stars.
Yes.
Is anyone in particular, or?
Yes. I was a big fan of Ben Reilly. The fact that they had him in there, and the way that they made him so dark and brooding, very reminiscent of Batman.
Absolutely.
And I also love the fact that they had so many characters from the cartoons, like Spider-Man Unlimited was out there. They had the Spectacular Spider-Man, which ended tragically short after just one season. That's my man's. Oh, and of course, you know, PlayStation Spider-Man. That's my nigga too. So
yeah, man. I was particularly happy to see Ben Reilly. As you, the Clone Saga for Peter was a whole thing. For those unaware of the original clone, now there's another one going on right now. In the lit with Miles Morales has a whole Clone Saga going on. But back in the day, in the 90s, when Ben Reilly came to the forefront, there was a small period of time where I was kind of pissed the fuck off, Omar, because they basically sold us that Ben Reilly was the original Spider-Man. Yeah. Like he was not even the clone, right? You remember that?
Yeah.
And
that's
so,
it.
yeah, go ahead, please.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say, like, to see how they brought him in, and to see, like, muscles. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Dreary.
And the brooding shit.
So dark.
All of that shit was awesome. I love that. Also, we did get to see, I don't know if y'all are too deep in on this, but little bitty, our little Mayday, who eventually becomes Spiderling, popped up and was a joy to see. Her and little Zeddy.
One sock on. I didn't even notice.
Yeah, man, little Spiderling. And yeah, for those y'all, she ends up being Spiderling, and then also in some variations becomes Spider-Woman. But there's so many Spider-Women. Speaking of Spider-Women, hello, pull up Afro Queen. It is now canon that the first Spider-Woman on screen, because look, Omar, for me, tell me if I'm wrong, I thought we were going to see more than one Spider-Woman in this. I thought we might see the original, well, I don't want to say the original, but the white Jessica Drew, even though she was the original.
She was there.
She was there. Okay,
I didn't glance at her. Juliet, Jessica. It might no, actually. I might fuck. I feel like I want to say Julia Carpenter, but I feel like that was the anime. I'm fucking up. But we see her there. She had red hair. It's in the scene where they're talking about the cannon point. You see her in the background, in the forefront. She's there.
Yeah. Okay. See, like you got to watch real closely for some of these, man. So how do we think that excuse me, Yaz, like now that you saw it, how do we think that Issa Rae held down her role as Spider-Woman?
I thought she killed it. I thought she did a pretty good job, especially like being the fact that like Valerie was pregnant. You know what I'm saying? Like, and she was like killing that shit on her motorcycle. So I thought that was pretty badass. Like, it was so funny too, because the whole time I'm watching my fiance Austin, he's just like looking at her like, shouldn't she be like in bed at home or something? Like,
what year is this?
He's like, this is unhealthy for the baby. I feel like, you know, she's out here doing all this crazy shit, and I'm over here laughing at him. I'm like, you're too maternal right now. You need to calm the fuck down, okay? Like, she's a badass. Yeah, and Jessica Drew killed that shit, and I loved her in this movie. So I think Issa Rae did a great job. She did her justice. Like, I just wish we would have had a little bit more scenes with her. We didn't really have too many scenes with her kind of like interacting, you know what I'm saying? It was more of just like her popping in, you know what I'm saying, and then popping back out. So other than that, I mean, I thought it was pretty dope.
Please, Kev.
I thought Issa Rae was a little insecure in the movie. Okay, that's it. My bad.
No one said it. No one said it.
Sorry.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. 407 Kev. He'll be at the
I'll go.
Orlando Improv.
I'll go forever. Sorry.
No.
I'll go forever.
You're good. So, Issa Rae did her thing. I don't necessarily know if I have a couple critiques, but before I go into that, that's a little heavy. Some of the new characters that we were introduced to that aren't mainstream. All right, like we've got my man Pavreek.
Yeah.
Right? Excuse me. Damn. Sometimes my finger.
Yeah.
Pavreek, bro. This motherfucker right here, bro.
Yeah.
This motherfucker right here,
Yeah.
bro. Was this shit not cold as fuck? Am I the only one that wasn't watching
I'm
this shit?
with
Like,
you.
nah,
No, he was definitely feeling shit.
For sure.
I'm with you.
I'm gonna say something that's probably gonna get me in trouble. But all right. So when we went to the movies, it was me, my kids, and my I invited my pop. You know what I'm saying? Because one of the things we bond over is the whole the nerd stuff. And my pop has this thing where he's like, look, if it's better to ask for forgiveness than permission. So, we have assigned seats now, but he looked behind us like the whole row was empty. You know what, man? Let's just take that whole row. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, all right, cool. Sure enough, while I'm knee deep into my jar of cheese that I'm using for my nachos, a whole row of Indians. Excuse me, is this your channel or is this supposed to? I was like, oh, look, my bad. Are you supposed to be sitting here? And we had to get up and move and all out the way. But my point is that they came deep. This is exactly what Sony and the Spiderverse were trying to do, trying to expand the universe to inclusion. Yeah. My guess is that if this group of folks from India, and I'm not talking West Indian, not talking Guyanese, Trinidadian, I'm talking
shout out to Guyana.
Yeah, I'm not talking Georgetown, Guyana. I'm talking Mumbai. All right. They was like, yo, look, we are here to see our Spider-Man. You know what I'm saying? And these motherfuckers was not playing. And my guess is that they probably wouldn't have got together to see it if they were not included. And so that, my friends, is what inclusion does. Was he not dope as hell, Omar? Did you dig this shit?
Everybody uses their webs differently. Much like I don't even mention DC, but like, all right, we're all Spider-Man, cool, but everybody swings differently. Everybody uses their agility differently. Gwen's got the ballerina shoes on. Miles got the fucking swag on, the swag of the over-exaggerated swag of a New York teenager, apparently. But fucking, I love the way the Mumbai Spider-Man fucking moved, and also the way he incorporated his web shooter, which was a bangle, into the web. I'm like, it was. I like shit that goes, instead of like going with slow motion, like something that's moving so fast, you're like, I gotta rewind it because I don't know what the fuck this man just did. And he gave plenty of that. Like to me, he was the most, when it came to web slinging, he was the most intricate Spider-Man that we've seen so far. Because I'm like, even just that simple swing you saw in that reel you were showing, where I incorporated his legs into it to bounce off the web line. I'm like, I ain't seen the other Spider-Man get it like that. It's between him and Hobie Brown, man, for my fave. Hobie was my fucking guy this whole fucking movie. I love that, man. But yo, Mumbai Spider, like, they're neck and neck for me.
Yo, I'm not gonna lie. Our boy Tyrone, when I was watching this, I was like, oh my god, Tyrone is Hobie. Is it just me? Was that only? Yes. Yes. So y'all didn't see it yet. When you watch this shit, Ty, you're gonna watch it, and when you see Spider-Punk, and when he starts talking, this motherfucker is Tyrone. He is an anti-capitalist, anti-establishment, down with capitalism, down with the system, fuck the bullshit, throw the whole world away, burn it to the ground, start from scratch. That's this motherfucker right here, bro. And he was not, he was on point. Was anybody surprised when he unveiled himself?
Nah.
Nah, the motherfucker is, at one point in time, I looked on screen and it was almost all black Spider-Man. Almost all black Spider-Man. We got Miles Morales. We've got Black Jessica Drew. We've got Spider-Bite. All right, for those of y'all that know Margot West. All right, who is eventually potentially a love interest for the comic fans. Even though in this one I think she's a little young. Did I have anything of her? No, I don't have any. But yeah, and then on top of that, we had Mr. Spider-Punk, who was voiced by none other than Mr. Daniel Kaluuya.
Best,
So there's a lot
best
of
in the world.
There's a lot of blackness in this shit, yo. That shit was ridiculous. So go ahead, please.
One thing about Hobby, if you look at him in the movie, every time you see him, he doesn't conform to what the background is. His color is always different. It's always jarring. So while everybody else blends in, he always sticks out.
Yep.
Oh, that's a good observation. I didn't even notice that. You notice that, Yes?
Yeah, I did notice that. Like his with his colors and stuff like that. I did notice that. Like he's always different from everybody else. I thought that was super dope of him. Like, yeah, Spider, he's got to be my favorite character, hands down. Like, other than Jessica Drew, like those two were neck and neck. Literally, it was a great, like, those two were badass. I'm not gonna lie. I liked both of their scenes the most. Like, hands down.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. To bring Spider Punk into real life and for him to even be as dope without the mask as with the mask is a stroke of genius. But yeah, man, there was some other Spider-Man there as well. I mean, I saw Aaron Aikman in there. I saw it looked like maybe even a couple other versions of Spider-Man that we see in the games. We saw the Insomniac Spider-Man, like Kev alluded to, but it wasn't just about the Spider-Man, because there's also new villains in this one. We saw Scorpion, all right, who was in the first one, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, but Scorpion had a heavy Latino accent in this one, heavy Latino, which I guess goes with the canon. But also our villain, Mr. Spot himself.
Yes, come on, man.
Are we loving Spot, Omar?
Yes. Dr. Jonathan Ohm, I think his name is, but as we get. I like what he becomes, because it's Miles' fault in two parts. One, you find out who he is, and spoiler is like, yeah, you hit me with the bagel, man. It's like, oh, he was that guy, which was so. It was a joke moment, right? It was such a funny moment. Then to see how this guy's life got ruined because of that collider explosion, and Miles just like, okay, yeah, whatever. I know it, man. I don't know you, whatever. And Miles is very Spider-Man about it. And he's like, oh, you're just the villain of the week. Oh, I'm a fucking joke to you. Joke to you. All right, cool. And then he gets out and then he starts doing the shit like, I ain't a fucking joke anymore. Am I? And like, this is, and then it's a good, like, Miles underestimated him. He underestimated him. Didn't really hear him out. All right, he's a bad guy. Boom, boom, boom. Like, nah, man, it was a victim of circumstance that you created. I'm like, okay, so all right, I'm coming for your shit now. And I'm like, yeah. And like, he wasn't goofy anymore when it started fucking club hopping through multiverses. Wasn't goofy no more, man. Like, yeah, you created this problem. How you gonna fix this shit now? And then that change too. Oh, yes. I love an obscure character getting shine, and an obscure character that's a joke getting dead serious, and we ain't laughing no more now.
Ooh, yeah, there was that moment where shit got real, right? There was this moment where you're like, oh shit, so he's not just a fly-by-night villain. Like, this motherfucker's a real problem, and that kind of goes to one of the things. All right, look, y'all gonna have to deal with me on this one, because like, this is what my life, like, I've waited all my life for this moment. Let me stop. But in this, they tapped into the essence of Spider-Man hood in this movie. They tapped into the essence of the complexity of, it's not always good versus bad. No, it's not Superman versus Lex Luthor. No, it's not just Batman and Joker who wants to burn it all down. No, it's holy shit. Here's an opportunity, Miles, for you to talk to this guy. Maybe speak with him in another direction. But no, you're going to be the quick Spider-Man, and you're going to make him feel like an idiot and enrage him, and thus create your own nemesis, even though he said he was a nemesis. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you made this problem.
Yep.
You know, it's almost like, yo, you could have prevented it, and now you're going to watch a whole lot of people that you love potentially die, Kev, because Spider-Man got a Spider-Man. Am I wrong?
So did you guys notice how like originally the spot started out like white with black spots, and then when he like started becoming a badass and like, you know, like showing Peter Parker like who the fuck he is, he was black with white.
Ooh, come through observation. Nah, man, yo, that's a good observation. Well, Spot, how do you fight a motherfucker like Spot? You can't punch him because he punches with you. You know what I'm saying? Like, how the fuck?
Spider-Man did kick his ass when he didn't know how to use his spots, though. Like, you know, he did get him all tangled up, and you know what I'm saying, but somehow he got out. You know what I mean? So
he kicked his own ass.
But yo, that shit was crazy. And then it gets flipped on its head, because now we're in the realm of one Mr. Miguel
Woo!
O'Hara,
Woo!
who did
Hey.
not come here to play with y'all.
No
This
jokes.
motherfucker was like, "Yo, look, I ain't funny, but I fuck up a lot." You know what I'm saying? And he brought the heat. And yo, how many Marvel characters are actually now Marvel characters? This isn't just the one. This is Oscar Isaac, who was also Moon Knight, who's now also Spider, and then also in addition to that, Gwen Stacy. You know what I'm saying? Gwen Stacy, that's Kate Bishop. You know what I'm saying? Kate
Oscar
Bishop
Isaac is also Apocalypse in X-Men.
Yeah, he is Apocalypse.
Shit, that's right. And he's actually the live action. That's right.
Yeah.
Holy
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah, he's Oscar Isaac is like, yo, Marvel, you got something for me?
Let's go.
Disney is just like, yo, we got this man paid.
He's like, I'm gonna run over to Star Wars real quick. I'll be right back.
He's trying to be Pedro Pascal.
Yeah.
But nah, this isn't this is the Sonyverse is trying to supersede the MCU, and they're doing it the right way in this regard, if I'm not mistaken. Look, I don't know. I know you haven't seen it already, Ty, but you're just hearing everything we're saying. And does it make sense that Sony would use the animated realm to try to have a leg up on the MCU? Or is it just that they're like, well, I guess Morbius didn't hit like we thought. You know what I'm saying? Like, I guess I'm not going to get this out of the Amazing Spider-Man 2, and Madam Web doesn't seem to be catching up. Let's just go ahead and ride this Miles web. Wait. Oh, you on mute, homeboy?
You on mute, bad tie.
Yeah, absolutely. It makes sense to piggyback off your own success. So I mean, they've already had success with the first movie, and apparently they're going to have a lot of success off of the second movie. So I mean, this would be the route to go. I mean, you just continue to kind of build off what you've already established. There's no reason to kind of like do anything new if it's already working.
True. I think that this is like I told you before. It's kind of like Dave Filoni with the Clone Wars. All right, the Clone Wars superseded. It came before Mandalorian. It's kind of the groundwork for it, and now we are getting tea leaves that they are already considering putting out the live action Miles Morales. Are we ready for this? Are we ready for this? The producer of this also said that there's a live action Miles Morales as well as Spider-Woman in the works. And it's probably happening. Doesn't tell us when, but it's probably happening pretty soon. And I can't help but wonder who the hell's going to play these people if they already got them in the works. I mean, shit. Even go ahead. Yes, please.
Sorry, I was gonna say, didn't like the little boy from like Blackish, like didn't he go to the premiere and he was like we were speculating he was gonna be our live action Miles?
There's a lot of speculation. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Listen, right now it's up in the air, but only these motherfuckers know. We'll see. We'll have to see. All I know is that hell is gonna pay. That this is where, all right, quick left turn. This is where, like, you know, the problem of casting a Afro-Latino character comes into play.
Talk about it.
You can't just cast any old body. We got many in the comics, many, and Marvin, shut the fuck up, Marvin. No, the fuck this. All right, troll alert. Get the fuck out of here, homeboy. Shut your ass up. How do you block somebody in the chat? But yeah, so when they cast a Miles Morales live action, it's more than likely going to have to do the same thing Blue Beetle did, where he fits the description of the actual character. So we can't just have just any old body. They're probably going to want somebody with some Latino roots, Kev, don't you think?
I think, there was so much representation in this movie. I think representation is so important for a character like Miles Morales. Like, even the Jamaican store clerk at the beginning, I was with my Jamaican girlfriend. I was like, oh, yo, shout out to us. We're in there. India was represented. Miles's mom was so Puerto Rican. Before I was with the Jamaicans, I was Puerto Ricaning it up in the dating community. I was like, this looks like the mom of every Latina I've ever dated. I thought she was gonna offer me a sazon empanada. I don't know. So I think that is a really important when they're casting a live action Spider-Man. They're gonna have to get somebody with Afro Latina roots, excuse me, and also be representative of Black culture as well. So
yeah,
that's important to me. I think if they cast him.
Yeah, man. I mean, look, there's so many different scenarios of which this can go, but that brings me to one of my first and possibly one of maybe many critiques about this particular movie. And this might be a little inside baseball, but I couldn't help but notice. All right. Follow me down this rabbit hole. All right, Tiffy, stay with me. All right, Nolly, you too, because I want y'all opinion on this. I'm curious as to whether anybody else noticed what's kind of going on with Jefferson. All right, Jefferson. Not only did he take kind of a backseat in this one, even though he did become a little more the subject of the plot as it progressed.
He gonna die.
Well, hold on now, goddamn, you know what I'm
saying?
And
he may die. Let's just say this: he may die.
That's speculation. That's not even a spoiler because that didn't happen. I'm just saying.
Right. Of course. Well, I mean, depending on which version it is, because I mean, canon-wise, that's a whole other subject. But all right, tell me if I'm tripping. Now, this is Jefferson Davis, the father of Miles Morales. And the father of Miles Morales' name originally was Jefferson Davis. Now, follow me, because Miles's name is Miles Jefferson Davis. We know what we can all kind of just piece together what the origin of that is. Miles, couple Davis. We get it. But in this particular movie, they called him Captain Morales. And his name was Jefferson Morales. And it's not the way it was originally. Originally, Rio was Morales and Jefferson was Davis. And we know that that's true because his brother, the Prowler, Aaron, name was Davis. So he's the tail in this. So somehow now they have flipped Mr. Jefferson Davis to take on his wife's last name. Is that what we're doing? Go ahead, please, Omar.
You know the reason why that's a very it's a subtle way to address why Miles has that last name, because of the shit that his family went through. Because he's like, my dad wasn't a good guy, man. It's like, that's why I gave you your mom's name. So actually, I'm all for that, because like, it's her name. It's like, oh yeah, the man takes the woman's last name. I mean, it's still patriarchy is still a man's name, but like, at least in this instance, like, yeah, I don't want you to have the shit that was associated with me. I don't want to continue that on. That's why, your mother is like, it's a new start for you through her.
Well, that's still, you're right, number one. And for anybody unfamiliar with Jefferson Davis as the historical figure, the president of the Confederate South during the Civil War, which is a whole problem in itself to name the first Black Spider-Man after the Confederate. That's a whole issue.
We'll talk
crazy about how made that happen. But still, Ty, the husband, or depending on which version you write, the boyfriend or the father figure, taking the mom's last name. Are we in new territory here? Is this like a trend? I never saw rings on their fingers. Are they even married in this version, in this one? Is this a problematic tie, or is this just me overthinking it because I'm into Spider-Man?
The things we do for love. I mean, listen, for all we know, Jefferson was head over heels for his boo, and one of her stipulations in order to be with her was my kid's gonna have my last name, and if you want to be a part of this thing, you gonna have my last name too. And Jefferson, just whittled under the love bug, and here we are. Jefferson Morales was born.
I ain't trying to hear that shit.
born in love. In love.
I think what it is us Spanish women, we are a certain type of way, and you're either on this train or not, and he wanted to be on that train, so he took the last name. Miles has a Spanish last name, and if you really think about it too, like I feel like Miles, like
See that
Yeah.
Spanish internet. See what he gets.
No. I do not accept this.
Don't accept it, but it's the truth.
Yo,
no.
she chirped out a little bit.
She might be right. She might be right, Kev. You are with a Jamaican now.
Yeah, no.
You didn't conform.
This.
You didn't
My
conform.
son
Exactly.
is
My point.
going to
You didn't
bury
conform.
me. No. We got a strong black father. We finally see a black man in the household. He's not selling dope. He's not in jail. He's not absentee. We got a 2-parent household, and the first thing they're gonna do is strip him of his blackness and give him his Puerto Rican last name. I just mío, no. No, don't say, Papi. Don't say. We don't do all that shit around here. Like, Miles is a character that is representative of Black and Puerto Rican culture, and to take away the Davis and give him the Morales to the father, my blackness won't allow me to do that, man.
Let's ask the other Nolly. And I want to ask this to Tiffy as well after Nolly. And I know you Dominican, y mira coño, ya tú sabes. Once you in the mountain decide to finally jump the broom, is the mountain gonna take your last name? Is he gonna take your last name, Nolly? Is that what's going on?
With that face, I think he is.
Look, so currently my last name is not my last name. I was too lazy to change it after my divorce because that's a lot of paperwork and a lot of things to change. Okay, but my maiden name is Castro, and I don't know if Clinton Castro is a good name. I don't know if. I think you know what? As a light-skinned Brown, his last name is Brown. I think I'm just gonna take Brown. It's fine. We'll work with it. I just don't think Clinton Castro is a good.
See, I'm lucky. My initials don't change. I'm still like, you know what I'm saying? Like my last name is like Austin's last name is Strickland. My last name is St. Clair. So I'm actually like all the confusion with how to spell my last name is gonna be taken out because it's gonna be easier now because people like to add an E to it. They're like, it's got a period in it. So
I just realized if I hyphenate my last name, my initials would be ABC.
Nice.
Hey,
mine is years abbreviated. It's YRS.
Yeah.
Look at
Wow. Tiffy, is there any possibility that we may have a future Mr. Starchild that may pull up into the fray?
His last name would have to be better than Starchild.
Yeah.
Or for me to, like, I don't know. It would just have to be a better last name than Starchild for me to, and my governmental last name. I'm not particularly attached to it, so I don't mind changing it. But it would just have to be cooler than Starchild in order for me to like change. I don't know.
That should be the discussion. Who has the cooler surname? Like, all right, let's compare it. Like, compare and contrast. Whose is better? Whose is better? I had a friend named Daniels, and he had the kid. I'm like, you gotta name your kid Jack. You gotta name your kid Jack Daniels, man. He never did it. Weak. That should be the discussion. Whose name goes harder? Like, all right.
I would just say, Tiffy, when it comes to that discussion, just be like, House of Starchild, you in or not?
There's a question to be had.
That's a good.
I'm trying to figure out what would be a better last name. Are we talking Stark? Are we talking Higginbotham? Jackson? Are we? I mean,
Who the fuck wants Higginbotham?
I don't fucking know.
I got you.
Go ahead.
There was when I did poetry, like usually you have a stage name, right? There was one dude, I'll say his name. His last name was Battle. His name was Sean Battle, and he was like, "Oh man, I need a stage name." I was like, "The fuck you do? Nah, that name. Your last name is Battle. No, that is your name is your name. You're lucky. You're lucky. You're fucking. That's a hard name.
Our child is tough, especially like if you're a Kiss fan, like Kiss.
No one ever gets the Kiss reference, but
I grew up around the Whites, baby. I know. I can talk your ear off about Kiss, Nickelback, Queen, Backstreet, NSYNC, Dawson's Creek, Saved by the Bell, the college years. The list goes on and on. My white
Nah.
knowledge
My
white knowledge is everlasting.
Hold the fuck up. Did you just shout out the college years? Like
Yes,
that's the thing?
yes,
Like,
yes. Because everybody's a Saved by the Bell fan. Everybody can tell you a little bit about Kelly, Jesse, and Lisa. I'm talking about the college years. I'm talking about Professor Lasky and Kelly's affair. Okay, I'm talking.
Oh my god.
I'm talking about AC Slater and Alex, the dumb brunette. They changed stereotypes and they made a brunette dumb for a change. Yes,
Wow.
I know about Saved by the Bell, the college years.
Next thing you know, you're gonna tell us you watched the grown Rugrats too, bro. Like you
I
didn't
watched
just
the
watch.
Rugrats
I was
all
there.
grown up.
I didn't watch
Bill
All
Pickle
Grown
was
Up.
a weirdo.
Yeah, they
Bill
have it on
Pickle was a
Paramount.
nasty nigga.
Yo, just for the record, right now, there's a lot of people vying to be Mr. Starchild in the comments right now. It's like somebody's like, I would definitely take the Starchild name. We might have to put y'all up on the on the list of contenders for applicants. If y'all is willing to at least contribute towards the grind. Hallelujah. But nah, let me stop.
They got to name at least 5 Kiss songs before they get a first date.
Right.
All right.
You gotta inspect their tongue. If they can't do the tongue thing, get them the fuck out of here. You don't need that in your bedroom.
Gene Simmons.
You don't need that in your bedroom.
I
We're still
appreciate your concern. Thank you.
Just for the record, we're still talking about Kiss and the tongue thing. All right, this is a family show, so calm y'all ass down for those of y'all that was thinking anything nasty. But yeah, I just thought that was kind of weird. You know what I'm saying? Now there is some justification for it with the last name being changed from Davis to Morales. But I do think that it may be worthy of an explanation. Because I mean, his name was Davis. You know what I'm saying? Now, yeah, it sounded like you said that it was overthinking it a little bit.
Just think about the world we're in right now. It is 2023. You know what I'm saying? I am a godfather. Okay, anything can happen. Okay, that's all I'm saying. All right, like that's all I'm saying. Like there is no rule saying that men and women can't like change their last names if they want to. They cannot be a godparent or a godfather. A woman can't be, or a man can't be a godmother. Like there's no fucking rules for that shit, right?
True,
we're making our own fucking rules, and you know what? This is how we're doing it. We're conforming to the new way. So I mean, I just feel like it's just it's part of life. You know what I'm saying? That's what his woman want. He did that shit. You know what I mean? Like it's nothing to make a big deal over it. If they didn't make a big deal over it, we should make a big deal over it. Is all I'm saying. It's just you guys caught that shit because you guys are diehard fans. Everybody else was like, oh, that happened.
What's up, Ty?
Yo, on behalf of black men, we don't want to be first in this. I'm just saying, like, if the world is changing and men are taking the names of their women of their ladies, cool. But let us not be first to do it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, let it happen somewhere else, and then let us.
I'm just saying. For the longest time, I swore I would never change my last name, but now that I'm with my significant other, we're happy. I'll have less than a year to get married. I'm like, fuck my last name. It's so difficult. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like his is easier and shit. And like, it's not really changing nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's changing what the name. That's it. My initials stay the same. It's just a fucking name. You know what I mean? On a piece of paper. Like we can change that shit anytime you want. So, I mean, it's for the name of love. Do that shit. That's all I'm saying.
Well, I mean, if I'm gonna change my last name, make sure it's a funny name like Pippi Longstocking or Long Bottom. Give me something. Like I need something that's exceptional.
Last name, dog.
Yeah, I need something that that's definitely gonna be at least 2 to 3 syllables long.
Hey, come on, Omar.
My dad, I was having a discussion with him one time in a previous relationship where I was like, oh, they'll take your the whole taking up the last names and whatnot, or getting hyphenated. And it's male ego. I'm like, I don't want to be the only one with this fucking name it. And my dad was just like, he's like, because I brought the situation to him. The one time I go to him for advice and shit, nothing serious. My dad was just like, all our name tells us is where we were traded along the slave route. It was with the Dutch with the last name. Take hers. What's the name? You know where you came from. What's the name? And I'm sitting there like, you choose now to be a progressive motherfucker. All these motherfuckers. You can't back me for nothing. But now I'm like, and ever since then, I'm like, you're right. Like, what is the name? You know where you came from. So what's in the name? And also, the woman always had to change her shit up. You know what I mean? Because like, oh, she was this person for so long. And now that gets a waste. And you know what I mean? It's so easy for them to, you know what I mean? Like, oh, you become someone new. Nigga, no, you become someone new.
Exactly.
I'll try.
That's why I was so against it, because I was like, fuck that. I'm not changing my fucking name. I'm conforming. No, fuck that shit. You know what I mean? It's like, it's just a rebel in me. But now I'm like, it's so complicated. You know what I'm saying? Like, my name is so complicated. Why the fuck not? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just, and my name is French. I am Spanish. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I'm Afro-Latinos and I got a French last name. So how the fuck do I explain that to people? I'm like, oh, hey, it's St. Clair. And they're like, wait, what? It's French? I'm like, yeah. I'm Dominican. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's like, it's a whole conversation. You know what I mean? It's just like, so it's just, it's a name. It's where you came from. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can change that shit anytime you want. It's just a fucking piece of paper now. It's just, you gotta spend some money to get that shit changed. That's all the difference.
Yes, my name is Jasmine. Oh, mon petit Sinclair. Oh, yes, Rodriguez Sofia.
Listen,
Rodriguez
if my mom would have named me Jajan, my ass would have been changed my fucking name. That's all I'm saying.
Well, I'll say this real quick, and then we'll move on. I see you seriously, man. I see you, man. Let's talk about the damn movie. Okay, we own it. But I'll say this as a father of 2 daughters. All right. For a man to deal with the fact that his last name will not go, with his loins is something that we have to, we kind of have to gripe with, I mean, unless my daughter hyphenates or decides to be the dominant one or just doesn't change her name. If my 2 daughters decide to get married, there will be no Taylors unless they somehow decide to make sure. And I mean, that is a thing for us fathers. And I mean, I'm not trying to say it's wrong, but it's a complex issue. But nevertheless, it is something that I noticed. Now, it just so happens that, Mr. Jefferson Davis, in certain versions of the Spider books, he ends up joining S.H.I.E.L.D. All right. And one of the things that he ends up, I wanted to have this discussion, but I kind of already knew this. One of the things that ends up happening is some of the undercover work that he does. He doesn't want it to come back to harm his family. So he ends up saying, look, all right, I'm gonna go ahead and take my wife's name. And that's the explanation in the comics. But if you don't read the comics, then you may never know that there is an actual reason why his name is Morales as opposed to Davis as it originally was. Even if you play the game, Kev, I know you played the game like me. In the game, he's still Jefferson Davis. When he has his accident and all of that, he's Davis. But I might be going on too long about something else. That's just my opinion. I thought it was interesting. I also thought that the reveal was interesting. We learned some very, very interesting things about this movie and the way that it ended. I think for me personally, there was a moment where I personally got to the edge of my seat and never sat back. Am I the only one that happened to? Like it was a little slow up until a point, but the moment they brought in the prospect of them having to kill his father, or rather let him die, because that's the essence of Spider-Manhood. My shit fucked up, bro. Like my internals, Omar, just completely went, oh fuck. Like because like if you remember during this scene, he's confronting him, and all the spider people started to surround him, kind of like, it's not your fault. It's not your fault. Having this whole little thing. And for me, that was when the movie took a turn on its head and went, oh my God, like, are you really trying to tell me that they're going to save the Indian Spider-Man's dad, but now as a result, they got to let his dad die in his universe? Is this a fair life? And now as the one, now Tiffy, you saw it, and you saw it from not, you don't brandish the Spider-Man tat on your back like I do, but
stamp.
I mean, I'm assuming, I don't know, but like from your standpoint, like, is this a turning point in the movie that made it more intriguing? I know you said it was really long, but once you saw that come to a head, like, what was going through your head?
First I want to say hi, Tasha, because she's in the chat. But what's the face? But like, no, that was pretty crazy. And I know enough about Spider-Man to know, like, yeah, Uncle Ben always dies. And if I didn't know, like, the captain died, them explaining it was like, oh, okay, yeah, I recall that happening. It was fucked up. It was such a fucked up moment. Even more so when you realize that Gwen, and that's the Peter B. Parker, that one, that he knew about it. Those were supposed to be his friends, and they knew. Like, I thought it was just kind of weird because that Gwen was in his universe and was tracking the spot and wasn't telling Miles. It's like, oh, maybe she just can't tell him about the job and her mission or whatever. That's kind of strange, but okay. But all the secrecy, and that's so crazy because he had so much anxiety in the first film about being good enough, and that was the whole thing, like when they like tied him up and left him behind because they didn't want him on the mission and things like that. Like, imagine how triggering that is. You find out that you're the only spider person not invited to the fucking spider convention. Fan club group. Like that just hurts my feeling. Imagine being the only one left out of the friend shit. Like, that fucking hurts. So he had so many reasons to be upset. I'm just like, well, you have to fight them now. You have to fight all of them, basically. Spider-Punk was and he just met that man. So it was crazy. The movie was never boring, but yeah, at that part, it just went even more insane. And the more you saw Miles just kind of, I don't know, he did that teenager thing where, like, especially when he was like, nah, I'm gonna do my own thing. Yeah. Just the less fucks he had to give, and he said,
that's real. I didn't think about that from a teenager's point of view. Like yes, I was watching it and I was like, holy shit, this motherfucker just fought his way. He stowed away into the Spider Society, and by doing so, he learns that he was basically the product of a conspiracy. Yes, you know what I'm saying? Like, his dad was a cannon point, or as they used to call him, what they call him in other universes, a nexus point, right? When it was Wanda, it was Nexus, right? But now in the Sony verse, we're dealing with the cannon points, and the fact that they were calling these cannon, like, yo, am I tripping? Like, they went fourth wall comic book on a bitch. You know what I'm saying? They're talking about canon moments in a movie that's now canon. You know what I'm saying? Like, get the fuck. All right. Let me calm my ass down. Okay. Don't mess it up. All right. So, yes, I don't know. At that point in time, you learn that your dad has to die to save the world. Are you killing? Nah, I know your situation is a little different. But for you personally,
you know my answer.
Oh man. All right. Well, let's go to All
right, but no, for real. Okay. No, I mean, like, tooth and nail, he fought like a badass to save his dad, and like it was pretty amazing too how flawlessly he got away when everyone was like, where the fuck do you think you're going? You know what I mean? And he's like, I got this, bitch. Like, I'm out. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I thought that was definitely like amazing how he outsmarted all of them and then was just like, peace. And Oscar Isaac was so fucking mad. That was just, oh man, it was so great. Him getting so enraged. I'm kind of upset I didn't get to see the vampire in him come out. You know what I'm saying? Like, that would have made, I think, it a little bit more like, oh shit, you know what I'm saying, when he was going after him, and that led up to, where we're at and, the ending and stuff like that. But I don't know, that was only kind of like, I feel for me was only like let down. It's like I didn't get to see Oscar Isaac be like, because he kept containing it. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to see that man fucking do some shit, show some teeth and stuff. So, but I don't know, the whole scene where he's like just escaping from them and just like, I loved how they did the cannon like point. That was like literally the best. Like, oh my God, like when he's trying to run away and they're like, which one? Him?
Yeah.
Like, that was absolutely the best because it was literally like the comic books. Like, it was perfect. It had Spider-Man hanging from things upside down, all kinds of shit. So this definitely, hands down, was like the best evade. But I think he fucking escaped with every ounce of just trying to save his dad. And like, I hope and pray that we get to see if he makes it.
Yeah. I was about to say, thank you. You beat me to it, Minnie. But the spider that bit him was like a venomous spider. Actually, Spider-Man 2099. If you notice his claws, like he has claws.
Yeah.
And like there's venom in his claws. You know what I'm saying? Like he's like a venomous spider, like completely. So it's a whole problem. But I agree with you, man. That was a whole other thing. Now I'm assuming that Omar, if it came down to the world or Tasha, I don't know, bro.
Oh yeah, man. Like, oh man, I want to be here. Like, oh, this just like Ma said, like, nah, Nick, like this is some wild ass shit. Y'all niggas are sick. Also, dog, I saw my uncle get shot in front of me. They're like, that don't count. That don't count though.
I know, right? Yeah.
That don't count though. You don't have enough trauma. You gotta get this trauma.
Real though.
All our uncles got shot. Miles, come on now, nah, nigga. You gotta go the hard way, baby.
He was trying to kill him, and then he got shot.
Yeah.
Let's be serious.
Y'all know Snowfall was like, smack your daddy. Like, no, lose your daddy. You gotta lose your daddy. Oh my God, damn.
That's just fucked up, yo, Ty. I mean, that's the decision that you're gonna be faced with, bro. It's gonna be your family or the world. We've already discussed this with you, but clearly it's gonna be the world. But Omar brings up a good point, man. They're trying to double dip on the trauma with my man. You know what I'm saying? Like my dog already lost his uncle, and they also want him to lose his father. Like what the fuck? And can we just talk about like the holy fuck of a fuck? All right, major spoiler alert. Major spoiler alert. Nolly, Ty, avert your eyes if you don't want this spoiler. I'm gonna give you about 3 more seconds. 3, 2, 1. Holy shit! If they did not put down, they freaking put this dude in a movie. They got a live action actual Prowler with him in a Prowler suit, looking like the role of Aaron fucking Davis, reprising the whole shit from Spider-Man Homecoming. Get the fuck out of here, Omar. This shit is a turning point. This is Sony merging with the MCU, and they did it multiple times in this bitch. Am I tripping for my level of excitement?
Nope.
Am I the only one who didn't jump out my seat?
I was with it.
I got giddy in the theater, and I had to check myself. Like I usually try to be cool, and I'm like, oh shit, that's Donald Glover. And then I was like, oh shit, let me just check back to my gangster real quick.
Don't you check yourself, sir?
I checked myself so quick. I was like, I don't care. I'm not excited.
Nah, how did you react, yo? Show us the line. Reenact it. How did you look?
Like, oh shit. That's Donald. That's Donald right there. That's Childish Gambino. That's Troy. That's Troy from Community. Oh shit. That's my man.
Yes, yo. I mean, come on, yo, Omar.
Yes.
This is a turning point. Am I reading too much into this by thinking this is not an easy thing to do? Do we know how hard it is for the Spider-Man to be put into the MCU? All of the paperwork, all of the fucking reach arounds that had to go just so that they'd be able to get Spider-Man to not be taken away from the Spiderverse, from the MCU. But now we've got Donald Glover, who is from the MCU in the Sonyverse.
I'm going even deeper than that, man, because like I love obscure characters, right? When I was a kid, when I saw Prowler on TV in the Spider-Man animated series, I'm like, yo, this is dope. Spider-Man is originally Hobby Brown. I always call him Hubert. Hobby Brown, and he made the seat to clean windows. Man went from, and no one gave a fuck about this dude. Even his comics, I'm like, yo, the comic is dope, man. And all it takes is some fucking time. Like, all right, let's switch the name out. Aaron Davis becomes the Prowler. He's a thief and shit like that. Hobby, we're gonna make this motherfucker Spider-Punk. All it takes is a good idea. They fucking ridiculed this man and this character as a D-list Spider-Man supporting character. Now this motherfucker is finally fucking eating. My man went from washing windows to the goddamn big screen, man. And he's a fucking problem. Every iteration of this motherfucker is a fucking problem. No powers needed. No powers needed. I got these claws and I got this dope ass suit. I'm in purple and black. That's how I'm getting it. I'm a thief out this bitch. This is me. This is me. And also to see this, who else is a Prowler later on, man? I'm like, yo, fucking finally, because you can do this shit with these characters. Oh, this character's trash. No, it's not trash. You didn't have them in a good fucking situation.
Right.
They're a victim of circumstance. Switch the situation. It's long-term booking, goddammit.
I love it. The fashion. Give it to me, yo. Holy shit. Yo, so yes. Come on, man. They showed Donald Glover. All right. They also showed, we already talked about it earlier, but they showed my man from Activision, or some call it Insomniac, the Insomniac Spider. We didn't really get I mean, I saw Aaron Aikman. I know everybody's not really into Aaron Aikman with the Iron Man suit. But I saw a whole bunch. But that wasn't the key, was it? Because when it came down to the end of this movie, shit got real. Shit got real.
Oh yeah.
AF, as the kids would say. And we got to learn that in this universe, not only was Aaron Davis not the Prowler, but somebody else was actually the Prowler, if I'm not mistaken. And that somebody else was none other than our very own Mr. Miles himself, or as some are calling him now, the Puerto Rican Prowler. All right, the Poppy Prowler. Speak on it with the braids, pulling up full Tekashi's 369 shit.
Oh my god, that's exactly who he reminded me of. Fuck.
I was ready for him to be like gang, 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 gang. You know what I'm saying? I went like his hair wasn't red and yellow and shit.
Thank God.
Bruh, yo, yes. What the fuck? Is there a Miles in a universe somewhere who's more Puerto Rican than Afro?
Yeah, I mean, I told you. See, this is why he got his mom's last name. Okay, like, that's proof right there. Okay.
Yo, oh my god! But yo, there's also some other. Yo, so first of all, that's crazy, but not new. All right, there is some Spider Prowler stuff that goes on in the comics, in alternate universes. But am I the only one that was for a couple seconds wondering, okay, is Aaron Davis with Rio Morales?
Yeah. I was pressed. For a second. I was like, what is going on over here?
Yeah.
But then the way that he was like, oh, you know, we family, I got you.
Yeah.
It kind of like eased my concerns a little bit. He's like,
Same.
okay, he's just an uncle that's looking out for a single mom.
I don't know, because biblically, you know what I'm saying? In the Bible,
everybody got the family secrets where you don't really know what's going on. It's like, oh, that's just mama's friend, baby. But like,
that's
what did
Uncle
that's just my uncle, yeah.
Right. I don't know, bro. I don't know, man. They was a little too cozy for me.
I mean, you saw. Oh,
go ahead, Omar.
I know, man. You saw it with the mural because I'm like, oh, maybe he's not. Maybe Jefferson isn't in this universe. But then you saw it with the mural. Oh, my man got put on a fucking T-shirt, and then like you said, like, oh, I'm giving him like, hey, oh, I'm like, you're his family and shit like that. And then seeing who we see at the end with my Pusha T Miles, so I'm saying, man, fucking that boy is selling weight. That boy is selling weight out of Brooklyn, Queens. He is all that connects. That boy, his name is his fucking name. And they're seeing them, so like, oh, hey, I'm not the Prowler. He's like, oh, you're the Prowler. No, I'm not. He is. And so I think that's also like he took on. He lost his dad, and it turned to this. That's why I'm like that became like the timeline to me.
It's there for him.
Tiffy, did they look like a relationship to you as a spectator when you saw that scene? Did you get this is Black Love vibes, or is this a replacement?
He was acting mighty familiar.
I think so. I almost thought he was going to tap her in the butt for a second.
Yeah,
like,
Yeah, he was just being very comfortable. Like, why?
That's the same face I was making the whole time. His face was like, all right, there's something going on here, but maybe Miles ain't in on that part yet. You know what I'm saying? But what are our predictions, guys? Anybody, maybe Omar, you can give us your idea. What are our predictions for the upcoming movie now that we know that this is a part 2, and also now that we know that we do have Prowler Miles? I mean, what do we look to maybe possibly see in the upcoming Spider-Verse, which I believe is called Beyond the Spider-Verse, as it pertains to the Prowler?
I'm thinking, no, you got to fight this man. My man's like, oh, you had it good. You got both your parents and shit. Oh, that must be fucking nice, man. I'm out here living fucking. Look at the shit I live in. This Reagan era fucking economics over this motherfucker. Showing bonfires in Brooklyn like it was normal. Buildings were on fire and shit. Like this because there's no Spider-Man here, man. So either I think they're going to fight and scrap, and then maybe Prowler will help him out to beat the spot because they got a whole like hit team coming for the spot. So I'm hoping maybe they'll join forces, but I'm kind of okay if he's like, man, this is how I'm getting in, get the fuck out. But also he did not care for our Miles either, and I'm like, good. And now everybody gonna be a friend. Good, fight your demons, fight your fucking demons.
He was like, that's your dad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Kev, I felt the way, Kev, like he got in his face, Kev.
When he punched that bag, and I thought that they, because the way the animation looked, like there was
exploded.
I thought his head exploded. I was like, oh shit, they killing off main characters in this. I was like, oh, this is Game of Thrones Spiderverse. Okay, what's going on right now? They introduced him as a badass. What I do not want to see in the next movie is this dude having a change of heart and then ultimately joining the team.
Yep.
I hate when they do the cliche, the good guy converts the bad guy and the bad guy was a good guy all along. I want to see this nigga do evil shit.
Mm-hmm.
I want to see this nigga. I want to see this nigga whoop Miles' ass, and Miles got to overcome and figure out new ways to advance the plot, how to beat this dude. If they just turn this nigga good in like the first 20 minutes of the next movie because he sees the bigger picture, I'm gonna be pissed off. I don't want that.
Oh well, yo. So you're giving us the Dark Knight vision. You know, die, be a hero, or live long enough to see yourself become the villain type shit. Like so, this in this universe, we're dealing with a motherfucker that said, fuck the bullshit, man. Look, my dad dead. Why am I going to do all this good shit for? He keeps, if at any point in time, it's giving me, all right, not to cross blend, but it's giving me Jedi vibes. All right, stay with me. Like, for those of y'all deep into the lore, you know that the Jedi is a constant calling from the dark side. It's constant. Like one of your powers as a Jedi is you have to use your Jedi strength to weed off the dark side because it's always calling you. You know what I'm saying? Those that give into it because it has strengths, it gives you more powers. But it'll destroy you. This is like his dark side. Like he's like, fuck it, I'm giving in. I will join the dark side. Fuck the apprentice. Fuck that. I'm a Sith. And now we get to see them confront each other. And I'm just so geeked up because this is completely unpredictable. I did not see this shit coming at all. And now I have no fucking idea what's gonna happen.
I just have one question. In this Jackie Robinson 42 universe, do they not have no other Avengers? I see that the city is going to hell because they don't got a Spider-Man, but Captain America is 2 boroughs over. He couldn't have cleaned up the city with a shield?
He got out the hood. He got out the hood. He ain't going back. He claims it. He ain't going. When the last time you were there, Steve? I mean, I got an apartment in Manhattan.
They couldn't send Bruce Banner's soft green ass. I'm so pissed off at how they did the whole in the MCU.
So if we're talking about different universes, like Steve Rogers may not even be Steve Rogers. It may be Peggy. So you got to think about that too. You know what I'm saying? Like, and you have to remember, like,
what else is different?
Yes, you know what I'm saying. It's
Clean
not
up
like,
the city.
like
Send
who
anybody.
are you supposed to like go and see when you don't even know who the fuck is who they are? You know what I'm saying? Like, are they a man? Do they have the same name? Like all the names, some of the names change and shit like that. So it's like, how are they supposed to know where the fuck to go? And I'm sorry, but like Thor, Captain America, they don't stay in the same fucking spot. They fucking move and shit. You know what I'm saying? Captain America, Tony Stark, they be flying around the fucking world. So like, you're gonna go to someone's city and be like, hey, knock on their door, be like, yo, I'm just looking for this dude to help me with some shit. Could you help me? And it's not even the fucking dude you're looking for.
They can't check up on Brooklyn every now and again. They can't send Ant-Man to Flatbush and Utica.
Nah.
I mean, Ant-Man maybe
on Flatbush right now. Ant-Man don't come down here. Nexus got laying down here.
You think
Yo,
retaliates.
if they don't send Logan or Nightcrawler or somebody, just be like, hey, yo, check up on Avenue J real quick.
Nah.
Make sure Brooklyn is all right.
That's Avengers business. We X-Men.
Yeah.
Listen, their best bet is to go to like, you know, the Professor X's house because that shit never changes, you know, it's always the same.
Oh,
That's their best fucking bet. Find the mutant house.
Yeah, he's in
Massachusetts.
He's in the burbs. He's not.
I mean, that's not that far though. Massachusetts, New York, it's not that far. Just saying.
I mean, but
they're gonna be there.
Let's keep it real now. We're asking Captain America to show up because he just found out that that Miles Morales has a new uncle that's messing with his mom. I mean, come on, what's the emergency right now? We don't know yet.
No, what they need to do is get the black Captain America because that's a black issue. They need to go get Falcon's black ass at Anthony Mackie, like he's the new Jerry Springer and he's doing paternity tests. He needs to figure shit out for him.
Come on, Sam Wilson.
Come out here.
I'm not mad. I'm not mad at that. But yeah, this. I mean, literally, I'm watching and like my butt clenched up a little bit. I got real uncomfortable because I got real scared. I got legit like look at like how well they draw. Shout out to the artists that are putting this shit together. Look at how legit scared this dude look, like being confronted. Like look at the dynamics in these motherfuckers. Like when you just look at them confronting with each other. Like one of them's like, "Yo, I'm here. I don't give a fuck. I just
look at their bone structure though. Like look at how chiseled this man's cheeks are, and then like look how babyface Miles is."
Yes, bro. I mean, and because. The hint was, yo, you ain't what happened to the braids? You know, I'm trying something new. You know what I'm saying? Like it was a whole different level of depth in his voice. The swag was different. He moved different. This motherfucker, look, he's brooding different. You know what I'm saying? He's swagged the fuck out. He walks upright. You know what I'm saying? Yo, I wasn't ready. Oh man.
A similar thing they do have though, like even though he has the Prowler mask, that mask looks like when you're doing spray paint, those spray paint masks with little airships on the side. So like, I'm sure he's still doing graffiti tagging. Well, he's still an artist. So like, there's one like looks like, all right, we got one similarity between us. But like, I just incorporated that to my fix. Some shit's hot.
Yeah, these are good. I mean, there are some depictions in some different universes of Prowler kind of taking on like a spider type of look and things of that sort. And this one doesn't particularly depict it, but there is one that he does actually have the Last of Us mask on, if you will. But yeah, man, it was phenomenal to say the least. The question I have for you all now is Sony officially the owner of the best Spider-Man content? Are we now in a realm where the MCU takes second fiddle when it comes to Spider-Man? You know, we look, the Tom Holland years, which are still upon us, have a precedent. But now, Kev,
I feel like we have to wait till the live action comes out, only to be honest with you.
Are we counting No Way Home as a MCU project or a Sony project or both?
Now, well, No Way Home is definitely an MCU project.
That still takes the cake for me then. Like the way that Andrew saves Zendaya, and that was like the redemption arc. Like how he couldn't save Gwen.
Gwen, yeah.
Well, I still tear. Sometimes I'll just watch that if like on YouTube, that 37 seconds, and just tear up just to know that black men cry. Like that's it for me. Every once in a while, I'll be like, I'm allowed to have feelings, and I just put that up on YouTube.
Skim milk.
It's okay when it's Andrew. And like I want to see white on white love. I'm an advocate of that.
Yo, so is this your version of sometimes you cut yourself to see if you still feel, and if you every now and then you have to pop on. You gotta pop on for dying just to see if you.
I throw on Spider-Man, and then I watch her, and she goes, "Are you okay?" And he goes, "Yeah, are you?" and I'm like, "Oh my god, yo, I've never seen such a redemption arc done, dog. Because he couldn't save Gwen. He tried his hardest to save Gwen, and he couldn't do it. So that was a huge moment.
And then the tear that he saved her. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Bro. One of the best moments in movie cinema. Sorry to interrupt.
Honestly, truthfully, and did you peep how they threw in Andrew? Quick cameo,
in
that bitch, and Toby was in that bitch too for a couple of seconds,
and they threw in Mrs. Chen too from the Venom series.
From Venom, the Venomverse was in.
Like,
did you see that?
And
Yes.
Can I just say, side note, I don't like to see white men named Toby. That makes me uncomfortable. The roots in me is uncomfortable by that. All right, go ahead. Yeah, Mrs. Chen.
Okay, he's an ugly crier.
Omar, are you about to say something, bro?
Oh, we're talking about like, best trilogy and whatnot. I'm giving it to Spiderverse hands down, because also how much shit did Tom Holland's Spider-Man take from Miles Morales? Genki ain't your boy, dog. That's my guy, man. Now we can't even use him properly in this over shit. You know what I mean? Like, nah, dog. Like, nah. We had some features, but what happened? We went platinum, though. We went platinum. We had some features, but we still went platinum. And you ripped off my shit, man. Nah, dog. And you made it harder for me. I had to get out the mud more than you, man. Nah, dog. I ain't waiting for no live action. They're going for the three-peat. GL2814 was saying that on Twitter. Like, nah, they getting this three-peat. They getting this fucking three-peat. I'm like, they two away from GOAT status for me. They two away from the best comic book trilogy to me.
All right, I don't know whether I'm more impressed with Omar's being able to recap that, or if he just memorized somebody's whole social security number on their username. Like it was nobody. He's like username 236485. Just love that shit earlier this morning. That was crazy. So there's that. I have to agree, man. I mean, the Spider-Verse in terms of story, because they're not limited based on character actors. They're not limited based on what can be done with CGI. They complete. I mean, the villain portrayal. I mean, I went back and watched the original Into the Spider-Verse, and the way that they portrayed the Green Goblin was completely ridiculous. Like, he's so larger than life, and then Kingpin as well. So I think that the fact that these worlds are limitless, but still like in a world of reality, like there's something weird. Like, it's like watching a real comic book.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And it's a weird thing to kind of just be in that realm, and then to go back and to watch like a live action where we know it's probably not going to be able to deliver on the same deliverables as the animated series. So I have to give it hands down to the Spider. Like right now, Sony has rightfully claimed their birthright of Spider-Man with this movie. Now, if they could only do any other movie good.
Well, wait, don't we have Craven coming out by Sony?
Yes, I'm so afraid for Craven. That's gonna be so trash.
I am too, but you never know. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe they might surprise us now. You know what I'm saying?
It's
like,
gonna be trash. It has to be trash. I'm just using the algorithm and the calculation. But all we've seen from Sony outside of, listen, the last good thing other than Spider-Verse, in my opinion, that Sony put out that had any, I still think Amazing Spider-Man 2 was shit on unjustifiably.
I agree.
I think that I don't know what it was that everybody was angry about. I liked Electro. I liked the race bend. I liked seeing Max Dillon portrayed. I don't necessarily. I think that it may not have been Jamie Foxx's best role. You know what I'm saying? Right. I still give that to Ray, but the best Spider-Man sequences live action, hands down, are in Amazing Spider-Man 2. I will fight and die on this hill. I'm not.
The lightning was definitely fucking amazing.
The best Spider-Man swing sequences were there, but then we get goddamn Venom. And then Venom 2. Now we got Madam Web coming. And fucking Raven. All these human beings. They could have made a Scarlet Spider movie. They could make.
How you left Morbius out? It was that bad.
Yes.
Yeah, I didn't even want to. It's not worth mentioning. I mean, even though it's probably not as bad as Tyrone thinks it was, but either at the same time, it definitely wasn't my favorite. But I think that yes, the Spider-Verse has officially put, in my opinion, Sony back in its proper ownership in the right place as it pertains to the Spider-Man franchise being their own. So they have more stake in the game now, and you can almost say that they mutually benefit from Spider-Man, since they did have a lot of MCU crossover in this. So I think we could all safely say, even Nolly, who hasn't seen it, that this movie was dope as fuck. Nolly, did we sell it?
Yeah, like everybody, because I try to avoid, I'm big on Twitter. I always try to avoid Twitter when shit comes out, but I forgot. Okay. I was reading so much shit and I was like, damn, y'all really hyping me up, huh? I'm out in these streets missing it.
Yeah, man.
I feel like that kid who for Christmas that year, everybody got a Game Boy Color and I finally got a Game Boy. That ever happened to y'all growing up poor? No? Okay.
I had that Christmas. I had that Christmas. We just
I've
were having
absolutely
a
had that
year, like-
Christmas. So I'm
yeah,
like,
and it happened again with iPods. Like all my friends had iPods one
I
year,
didn't
and I was
get-
like,
I didn't even get an iPod.
I
got
didn't
a
get nothing. I
Zune.
didn't have
What
an
is a
MP3
Zune?
player. I
Like,
was
what is
still
that?
playing N6 CDs, and it was bad.
Okay,
Whatever.
I'm saying.
I had the Namco Pac-Man while y'all over here with that bullshit. Goddamn it! I had, you push the button and I jump and I'm down and I'm up and I'm down and that's it, bro. Or pole position.
Yeah.
Y'all don't even remember them days, man. Y'all are talking all this shit.
I don't know
Everything
nothing
with the
about no
school
pole
playground.
position. We don't
What
have
you
no
about
shit.
Minesweep, Snake?
Look,
Let's talk
the school
Nokia.
playground was full of people with their Game Boy colors and their what was that thing that you put on, the shark thing for
Oh, yeah,
trading
Game
Pokemon
Shark.
and shit like that? Yeah,
Oh,
I
no,
didn't have a Game
the
Shark. I couldn't trade
the-
no Pokemons. I had to nudge my friend and be like, "Can I borrow your Game Shark so that you could trade me this game that I don't know?"
Young man,
That's how I felt on Twitter yesterday with everybody talking about Spider-Man.
I still got my Game Boy Color. I keep my Game
Yo,
Boy
hold
Color.
on.
Yeah.
Is that a
You keep
real
that thing
ass
on you?
Game Boy? Hold the fuck up. Let
That's
me
a Game
zoom in
Boy
on this.
Advance right there too.
Advance,
Yeah,
mhm.
I
yes,
also got
Wow.
a Game Boy Advance.
yes,
How the
yes.
fuck? Yo,
Wow.
Kev,
Yeah.
I know you're in the Central Florida area, but what year are you in right now?
2001.
Hey, keep talking shit. I'm gonna bring my Digimon out on you.
Yo, get the fuck out of here, yo!
Listen, you know what's so funny, Kev? My fiance steady be playing that fucking Digimon game from the 1990s.
It's too good.
And you know what he tells everybody? You know what's the hardest game in the history of fucking games? Digimon. Try playing that shit. It takes fucking years. He's like, I still haven't beat that shit.
It's like Tamagotchi and Pokemon got together and was like,
I have a
how can we make
Tamagotchi.
shit impossible for kids?
Look
Wow.
at my little Tamagotchi.
Oh,
He's so cute.
shit.
Oh, let me find out, man. Now I
We
feel
got some
left
real
out.
blurs in the house.
Hey, when I go mini golf, it's Baby Yoda. That's my official mini golf ball.
That's dope.
All right. Well, listen, man. Shout out to the cast. We had my man Brian Tyree as Jefferson. Of course, we had even Tom Holland said that this is the best movie. Not even his. You know what I'm saying? Like even he agrees that Sony is doing things right here. So I just want to give shout out to everybody who was involved with this movie, from the writers. The writers, if I'm not mistaken, by the way, it's all writers, all white writers. You know what I'm saying? I'm assuming that they had some advice coming from from the other world, but I won't sit there and name all their names because I didn't memorize them. But yeah, well done. Into the Spiderverse, I do believe, is going to break even more records. It's already on record saying that it basically broke the record of animated movies for the first night before it even actually debuted. We're talking just Thursday. So live on, Spider-Man. It goes to show that I know how to pick a favorite character of my life, man. Oh yeah, I don't want to see where the fuck I live, bro. I'm a whole problem. But
It's got cutouts.
yeah, I got my look, we won't sit there and go there. So having said that, man, I enjoyed Spider-Man obviously though much, but it's not the only movie that we've seen in the last couple weeks. We actually already did discuss the fact that in the realm of black characters, not only is God damn it, these gloves. I can't I'm trying to type with these gloves. That not only is Spider-Man making his rounds right now, but also we're still 2 weeks in to the Little Mermaid movie, which did break last week. And I know some of y'all got a chance to see it. I don't know if everybody got a chance to see it. I know Tiff and I actually had to see it because I would get completely drugged.
Reprimanded.
Reprimanded is a better word. Some would say red.
Left no crumbs.
No, 8. I got chunks out of my butt that I'm still missing from the reading that I got from last week. But I'm assuming that we have all had a chance. Overwhelming majority of us have had a chance to see Little Mermaid now. Is it no? Still okay? I know Yaz has it, and Nolly has it. Yeah, Nolly hasn't. Okay, so
I'm
my team.
allergic to screens right now.
I know Kev saw it.
Yes.
Omar, I think, is still not. Now, hold on. Now, how come I get drugged, but Omar supposed to been. All right,
Omar is taking care of a 12-year-old nephew.
That's right. All right, that's all right. Yeah,
This nigga is
Omar's not obligated because the little boy don't want to go see it. So
Yeah, I will. Tasha informed me that we will be seeing it, so I will be seeing it.
He just got the But yeah, okay. But Tiffy has thus far given it the stamp of approval. All right, and Tiffy being our resident Disney expert aficionado. Is
Shit was
not want to play
trash.
about the Disney reviews. If it was trash and Disney said it was trash, I don't care if you liked it. You liked trash. But Kev, you saw it. What's your opinion? What's your thoughts on it? On the Little Mermaid movie and the remake? Be completely honest.
100% honest. I liked it. I'll be real. I don't love live action movies for a couple of reasons. I don't think that they have figured out animatronics is yet, and it takes me out of the movie to watch. Like, I want to see animal characters show emotion and convey emotion, and I don't really think you can do that. I was so excited for Lion King when it came out, and the opening scene of Lion King, I teared up once again because I was like, oh, this is like a shot-for-shot remake of the cartoon. And then as I watched the whole movie, I was taken out of it because I was like, that's not Nala, that's Beyonce somewhere in a studio, and it feels like Beyonce somewhere in a studio. That's not Simba, that's Childish Gambino, that's the Prowler talking right now. So same thing with Little Mermaid. I didn't like the flounder. I didn't like the Sebastian. It threw me off. I really try to not let this movie's race come into it, but honestly, that threw me off too. I was like, "What?" Like, I'm happy that she's black. I'm happy there's black representation. I'm happy that they blind casted, but there was a lot of stuff in there that I was just like, I don't want to see this black woman running around this white man. And why does this white man have an oversteer hat? No, like there was a point. There's a major plot point in the movie where this nigga just has a slave owner's hat on for like 45 minutes, and I'm like, what? Why? What does that have to do with Eric? And he never had the hat in the original movie. Why is he wearing his slave
oversteer hat?
This nigga had an oversteer hat the whole movie. Like, and I felt like they was in a Caribbean isle, like where white people shouldn't be. So what are y'all doing over here? Are y'all slave owners? Like, what's going on? I know you got a black mom and they're trying to make it okay, but I was real confused. It was giving a lot of confusion for me. Like the movie, love the music. The soundtrack was great. I thought Chloe did a really good job singing. It was amazing. But it brought back that Roger and Hammerstein Cinderella to me, where all of the characters were a different race and ethnicity. Like Whoopi Goldberg and Jason Alexander, and they had the Asian son, and Brandy was in it, and Whitney Houston got off crack for 6 months to do her job. But I was just like, it wasn't. Sorry, there's a lot. It was a lot for me.
Space for me.
The Whitney reference might have been a little too far.
Nah, like Whitney did her thing. Whitney got cleaned up for a little bit, and it was a great godmother. Out here whipping up pumpkin pie baskets for this bitch to ride in. Like, it was great. It was fantastic. I loved it.
Tiffy, he's not the only one that has these thoughts. You know, there's a lot of people that are, blub, 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 blub. It's not about race and blah, blah. Why don't you just make your own characters and blub, 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 blub. You know, like the shit he's saying, as much as you and I may not agree, is kind of like a sentiment that's out there. What do you say to people that are saying stuff like this?
Tell us how you really feel, Tiff. Tell us.
Please don't pull punches.
I hate that I had to defend white people. I hate it. I hate it.
Nobody tell you had to.
I mean, none of these arguments are new, so. Right. I guess I'm waiting for them to have some new ones because I don't know. I don't all the way disagree. Some of the changes, and that's what I mean when I say that some of the changes I like and some of them I don't really care for. I was, even going into these movies and critiquing them and like looking at it through that lens. For me, there's only so deep I'm willing to go.
Right.
I guess. So so the critiques are saying like, it said it during a time in the Caribbean when the slave trade was definitely active. Why don't we see that? It really is just like, what the fuck? It's a kids movie. And why are we asking to see slavery in the kids movie? That's very strange to me. I loved the way that they justified Eric having
a hat.
No, a mother.
The mother.
Yeah, like that he was just adopted. And I'm like, okay, I can accept that. Thinking like, that was an interesting change. But I don't know. When the critique about Disney and these live action movies, and we'd rather have original stories or whatever. It's all been said before. Right. Disney produces lots of original stories all the time. We have more that are coming out. We have movies and projects that are on Disney Plus, or characters that they're introducing where they've featured people of color or Black people specifically. And it's just kind of like, you don't care about it until you're trying to bring it up in an argument, because if you cared, you would have hit the Google and you'd have an answer to your question. Wow. So to me, it's always just a very disingenuous statement. You don't care. You just want to argue. And you've said the same things for years. I think that that's kind of my response. That's kind of my response to it. Like, people within the first sentence, people kind of reveal what their intentions are. Yeah. Projects do exist. Disney is doing the work. Yeah, they sucked at it in the past, but I don't know. I still want that Disney money when it comes to backing these projects, because that's when we get good looking shit, and it takes going through the bad shit and having conversations about the bad shit in order to get to the good shit. And if you look at Disney's history of how they've represented Black women specifically, like when it goes back to Sunflower the Centaur in motherfucking Fantasia.
Yeah.
She went back.
Bad. Yeah.
Yeah.
Bad.
That's how they portrayed Black women. So and then even by the time we got Kida or Tiana, it's better, but then we have to have the discussion about not keeping her as a frog for the majority of the movie, or not changing up her features and her hair texture when she's featured, 10 years later in Wreck-It Ralph 2, things like that. They're gonna fuck up. They don't know these things. So I don't know. I don't even really remember what the original question was at this point.
Nah, that was it. It was, what's your response to those types?
That's the response. All the critiques are the same, and it's been the same since this movie was announced back in like 2019 or whatever. They have not switched it up. And then next is going to be, what if we took Black Panther and made him white? What if the sky became red and it rained donuts, motherfucker? I don't know. Ask me when the shit fucking happens. Right. Or when they say, how would you feel if we turned this character? Whitewashing has always been a thing. What do you mean, how would I feel? It's already happened. It's happened. We're here already. So to me, when people make these comments, I'm not pressed at this point. You done already revealed your hand, and it's a dumb hand.
Well, you said something interesting, Tiffy. And first of all, I personally agree with you wholeheartedly. You said that there were some things that you liked in terms of changes and some things that you didn't like. What were some of the changes that you didn't like in the updated version?
First of all, why did she get one dress for the entire time she's on land? It's a little shallow. It's a little shallow, but why would you give her just one dress? And that's just like, if I can be a Disney person that's picking it apart, there were just some design choices that I did not understand. Like you switch up the look of the dress, and that's fine or whatever, but it's the same dress that she picks up and wears throughout her entire time on land. And then at the end, when Triton's like, oh man, I'm really gonna miss her, shut out, let me make her human. She's supposed to come out the water looking like a fucking goddess with a sparkly blue. And when she was like, Eric, I'm here, the bitch of your dreams. Like, she's supposed to have that energy in that beautiful blue dress. That is a very important moment. And she puts on the same blue dress she's been wearing for the past 3 days, only it's tattered. It's even worse at this point. It's weird. Wow. It's weird. I don't mind the changes so much that they made to Sebastian and Flounder and Scuttle. We discussed, I didn't even mind Aquafina in it. I
hated it. Hated that shit.
Okay.
Sorry.
I didn't mind that they didn't look like the cute animated animals, because I don't think that it would have fit within her world there. Like, that just would not have worked at all. That Scuttlebutt song was boppy. I don't care what
it was.
That was a bop. I like that.
It was a bop. I don't care. Some of the changes, they took out the chef Louis and his song Le Poisson. They took out just everything that was musical about Atlantica So Sebastian was not a conductor. That was not his role. The sisters didn't sing, but on the flip side, they were ambassadors to their different oceans and were coming back to report. Like, they had agency, they had power, and I really, really liked that. And to Ash Cash got jokes. Even in Little Mermaid, they silenced a black woman almost the whole movie. They gave her more of a voice than the traditional version ever did. Halle got more songs in order to express what Ariel was feeling. They gave Ariel more of a voice in this version. So I'm not sure how that was your takeaway when they empowered Ariel to speak more and even speak on her experience about sacrificing her tail for something that ultimately didn't pan out. That they did the opposite of that. So
if I know Ash, she's probably joking. She's a comedian too. That's Kev's girlfriend. What's up, Ash? And thanks for allowing the Little Mermaid to be filmed by your hometown of Jamaica. I don't know where it was. Like, I was getting like Trinidadian vibes. I tried to look up like where this location was supposed to be. Any insight on that? Any intel, Tiffy? Do you know where this, like, the setting, like location wise, where it was?
Oh no, I'm sure.
I think it was purposely ambiguous,
but yeah, no, yeah. And I love that they did that because it made sense. And it's like, okay, well, so that's how we get this damn Jamaican crab, which in the critique of The Little Mermaid, we're like, oh, it has to stay authentic. So explain Sebastian, explain how it all fits together. Those are the kind of ties that I like that they did. Like, it makes sense that they're very Caribbean music influenced.
I don't like the dude that they got from Hamilton to play the Jamaican crab neither. It wasn't authentic Jamaican. I didn't.
Okay.
The accent was crazy.
Okay.
The accent was crazy.
Okay. Yes. And it's difficult because I actually made a reel that I didn't drop because I was like, I don't know if I want to offend my Jamaican brethren. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was a whole like, all right, so you telling me Shaggy wasn't available? We couldn't get Shauna Paul. Somebody goes, I did. Well, I don't really care what, you know what I'm saying? Like, I was like, David, I see you, homeboy. I know he's coming up in the world. He's done his thing. He was in Hamilton, and I know Lin-Manuel Miranda was actually a pretty extensive part of the production of this, so it makes sense. Would I have liked to see Bounty Killer as freaking Sebastian the Crab? Absolutely. Yo, hey, yo. Need not pretend you got naked eyes looking at me. Say poor people fed up. I was ready for it, bro. I want Damian Marley to pull up and like, yo, welcome to Little Mermaid. Jump, you know what I'm saying? Like, I was ready for it. It didn't happen, but it is what it is. But I will say, the only thing that I think I was tripping about was that this movie, as a result of Ariel being included, felt more like it had deeper meaning now. Like when you think of a mermaid wanting to be a part of the surface world, you're like, okay, cool. But when you add the racial element, right, and then make it, the black mermaid who wants to be a part of a surface world, and I know that we're not making it mainstream because it's a kids movie, but in the back of your head, for those of us adults who did read history books, you couple that with the fact that he's trying to be in with the family, but basically the queen being black, like, kind of solves the whole retributive aspect of it. Like, oh, well, she's trying to be, black. It's like, no, she wants to be on the surface. He wants to be at sea. They make it out. They didn't get married at the end, Tiffy. Was that a problem?
No. I think I've joked about that sort of thing in the past, but what I think it was also unclear to me if they got married or not. They changed her dress and didn't give it. They gave her a new dress. That was nice. And I don't know if it being kind of that super light pink that looked almost white, if it was supposed to hint that was some sort of ceremony for them, or if they were just having this send off because they were going to go explore the uncharted waters or whatever. But I wasn't bothered by it because it's not until you said it now that it even occurred to me, like, oh man, yeah, were they living in sin after this? But, so I guess that it didn't really bother me at all because it didn't even occur to me.
Well, evidently didn't bother a whole lot of people, as it seems the movie is doing just fine. Hallelujah. And had a great outing this week. So shout out to our 2 black leads and our 2 big black films in the last 2 weeks. I mean, you could argue whether they're black or not, but it is what it is. But either way, as of right now, guys, we got to go ahead and say peace on this first leg. Maybe a little bit of after sesh if you're down to pull up. I want to shout out Tiffy, Starchild, Omar Holman, Mr. 407 Kevin as well for being our special guest today. And who knows, maybe we'll see even more of them. One time for Bad Ty for pulling up, one time for Nolly as well as Yaz, and our homies Tyrone and Steph, even though they couldn't be here today. And shout out to you, all that are watching on whatever site it is that you're watching on. Appreciate you pulling up. Not only that, and also for sharing this along with your friends, family, and tell a friend. And do me a favor, be your authentic self. If you ain't being yourself, you being fake, ho. And that's HEAUX, not ho. Don't be offended. All right, calm down. And if you is a true geek, don't worry about what everybody else saying. Go ahead, let that geek flag fly. Pull on up to the after show. Oh shoot, I almost didn't push I almost got excited about the. All right,
I love the new blurred order. You should too.
Whoa.
Let me get all this 10P Wayne. All niggas rapping about the same old thing. I've been coming through with